Good evening, and welcome to Crafting by Moonlight. This evening, not only do I want to say Happy 4th of July to everyone, but also I do apologize. You may possibly hear sirens and or loud banging noises as the fireworks go off. So this evening I'm doing 4 videos. I'm going to try to get them uploaded tomorrow. 2 are going to be reviews, product reviews, and the third and the fourth one are actually going to be crafts. So I kind of want to make these as quick as possible, but as detailed as possible. So I do apologize. Once again, these are tutorials for people that don't feel that they're good at crafting or they're better at other arts, but not these type of crafting arts. So these are just informative as well as educational videos. So let's get started. First thing that I wanted to show you, the first product review we're going to do tonight is glue. And the only reason why I want to start with glue is because as vast as it is, you know, I've seen a lot of people always reach for the Elmer's glue or glue sticks. And honestly, I can't stand that. So this evening, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with glue dots. Glue dots are my replacement for glue sticks. If you have a glue stick in your house, throw it away or use it on your eyebrows or whatever makeup tutorial you want. But far as crafting, just throw it away. It's not worth it. The glue dots are small, they're handy, you've seen me use them before. Once again, let's go over it real quick. I have applied a glue dot between these two pieces of paper, and it's pretty darn hard to pull off. And they're pretty easy to put on too, because you have a glue dot, you have a piece of your paper, take it off, and you just pull it off like that, just like a sticker. And then you just secure it to whatever, and it works pretty well. No, it does not work on body. We'll get to body adhesives later. I actually will be doing a tutorial in October with body adhesives, so you guys will actually see how that's going to be applied. So once again, it doesn't kind of takes a lot to take that off. So glue dots are my #1 go-to, especially with paper crafts. So if you're a teacher or a mom, throw out your glue sticks. Like I said, use them for your makeup tutorials, but invest in some of these. These are amazing. You can pick these up pretty much anywhere. So that's to start off. Second thing, let's go to the E6000. Now, I know a lot of you have seen things like Gorilla Glue and Super Glue, E6000. The problem with the E6000 is, one second. Okay, there we go. Now we fixed that. Now you can actually see it for the way it is. I had it backwards for some reason. Don't know why. Anyways, E6000. E6000, it's good. Takes a really long time to dry. According to this, I believe it takes up to 2 weeks. Let me see. Instructions. First aid warning. Okay. It doesn't say how long it takes to cure. So anyways, but do not drink, eat, smoke, don't do anything while you're handling this. So it's not something that I would actually recommend. The fumes alone are enough to get you high for weeks. So E6000, I wouldn't use it, but it's basically like a super glue. That's basically what it is. Industrial strength adhesive. That's what it says on the bottle. So once again, it's basically a glorified super glue. It stays tacky for 2 minutes, basically to give you that reposition that super glue doesn't. But you can pretty much use super glue and get away with it. Now, I could be wrong. It is paintable, but I could be wrong. But yeah, not really my go-to glue. I have a tube of it because I needed it for something else. if it's a craft, which in this case I was using it for a craft that while I was on Pinterest, that's what it called for. I used it. I didn't like it. As you can see, I have more than half the tube left. Next thing up, beacon. This is called, let me get this out of the, it's always the bright stuff. There we go. Gem Tack. This is embellishing glue. This is designed with rhinestones, pearls, sequins, glitter, and more. This is non-toxic. It should be allowed 24 hours to dry. I don't mind using this, especially in small things. I even used it on this when I had to fix one of the marcasite gems had fallen out. So I think I used the Gem Tack for that. I haven't used it since. And these are actually over 10 years old, so that tells you how long I've had this bottle. And it's mostly full anyways. But still, not bad to use in a pinch. Next up, I wanted to talk about this one. Craft Bond Elmer's. So this is a spray adhesive. If you watched my Golden 30 with a dirty twist video, I mentioned that I had sprayed this stuff, as a matter of fact, on my styrofoam blocks and then turned around and sprinkled my glitter onto that. That's what you use this for. This is also good for if you need to use large areas of paper, like a poster board. But the only thing is once this goes on whatever surface, that surface stays tacky. And it stays tacky for years. I sprayed this once 12 years ago. 12 years ago. I've had this can for 12 years. I sprayed this once 12 years ago on a piece of paper, and it actually happened to be a piece of artwork because I thought it was this instead, which I'll go into that later. It's not technically an adhesive, but we'll go into that later. But I sprayed it on that thinking that this was the fixative, and it wasn't, and the thing is still tacky after 12 years, which is great if you need that, but if you don't, and it's a work of art, you wind up with hair and other stuff on it. Okay, this is not really a glue, it's actually a gloss and a glaze. I'm going to be using it in one of the craft tutorials tonight, but I wanted to show it because it's a great sealant. This is something that you want to use for sealants. Especially if you want like a really, really glossy finish, like kind of like what's on the table. Alright, so, oh, there we go. There goes another one. Oh, and another one. Anyways, tacky glue. Tacky glue is something that is a go-to for me. But once again, it's kind of wet. It's like Elmer's, just more of a better Elmer's, so to speak. But that's, once again, that's kind of the problem, is that it's like a regular glue. So if you got time to let it dry, then let it dry. Other than that, once again, glue dots is my go-to. Alright, so real quick, fixative, because I did mention it. This is workable fixative. This is stuff, so when you go to the store and you're looking at all the glues, fixative will be in there. You do not want to pick this up. This is for chalk drawings and other different stuff that you would spray down, like even for pencil, chalk, charcoal, chalk, even markers. You spray it over your product, and then this one is workable. So that means that while you're still working on it, you can spray that over it and then keep drawing and keep coloring or whatever. So this, once again, is in the glue aisle. I just wanted to show you guys so that you guys know the difference between this one, which is spray adhesive, and this one, which is work fixative. Alright, continuing on. Now, two of my main go-tos. Now, I did say before that I try not to use hot glue. I try. I really do. But every once in a while, you need to. So I've got, this is my industrial size. This is my tack size. See how tiny they are? And then this is my dipper. I call it a dipper. They have a larger one that I'm going to invest in because I was told by somebody that I trust who happens to be the florist at Michael's, because they use the industrial one, that this one overheats, so I hardly ever use it. But so I pulled out these three because I wanted to show you exactly what I use them for. This one, once again, is my industrial strength. This is the one I use for when I'm doing big crafting projects and need to use a lot of hot glue. This one's just for tacking things. This one is my dipper. So it's actually like a little, it almost looks like a Barbie pool. But this is the heating element here. You plug this in, you don't turn it on, it stays that way. This actually came with a little, like a little holder that when you put the glue in it, you put the glue in the holder and then it just slowly melts down into this. So it's basically a melting pot. This is something that you would use for, like I said, floral stuff. You can dip the edge of your fake flower in it, swirl it around a little bit, get the glue off of it, and kind of go like this and stick it into whatever you're using. I don't recommend this unless you're, once again, doing floral items. You could probably use it for something like this. Me playing around, I grabbed a bunch of the glass beads, and you could probably dip them in one at a time. Once again, hot glue means hot glue. If you've ever burned yourself with hot glue, you'll know what I'm talking about. This stuff makes blisters. Deidre, I know you're going to watch this. I am so sorry for being such a jackass that night. One of my closest friends was helping me with my daughter's birthday, and we were doing wands for her Harry Potter theme, and I'll do that tutorial in a few days. So I will get to burn my fingers like she did. But she burned the crap out of her fingers, and poor thing, she was sitting there, she had blisters on her fingers, and she's going, it hurts really bad. And I'm so used to my husband and my daughter being real big babies about things. So I was just like, suck it up, Buttercup. I felt so bad because the next day she came over and she had blisters, and I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. So once again, I do want to say I'm so sorry. With that being said, hot glue means hot glue. When you buy a hot glue gun, do not buy the dual temp gun. Do not buy a low temp gun. If you are under the age of 25, try not to use a glue gun if you need to, unless you need to, because glue guns are not something to really mess with. They do cause third-degree burns. They are not something that if you're not paying attention to what you're doing and you're holding it like this in your hand and you're squeezing the trigger, you're going to have glue just spurting out and you're going to wind up burning yourself. So don't use it unless you absolutely need to, especially if it's something up close. Use super glue or use the glue dots if you can. If you absolutely must have to use the hot glue, try to keep it as far away from your fingers as possible. So, once again, do not buy the dual temps, do not buy low temps. Low temps and dual temps do not, or the low temp on the dual temp and a low temp gun do not get hot enough to melt the glue like you need it to be. So do not give this to children. I don't know how many times in Michael's I have literally seen parents buying hot glue guns for their 8-year-old kid. And I literally have to walk over and snatch it away and say, don't ever let your kids use a hot glue gun. You're just going to burn yourself. So for the last product, before I end this tutorial, we are at 15 minutes. I have Mod Podge and Mod Podge. Okay, so at Michael's, Martha Stewart is a big brand, and a lot of my problem with Pinterest is that it almost seems like Martha Stewart is sponsoring Pinterest. half the time because people are using a lot of her products. Not to say that our products aren't bad, but a bottle this size, which is 4 fluid ounces of her stuff, will cost you the same amount that this cost me, which as you can see is 12 fluid ounces. This is the big boy. This cost me 20 bucks. Her stuff in a bottle this size costs $20. It's not worth it. Hers is like a Mod Podge, or it might even say Decoupage on it. Skip that crap. Don't even use it. Buy yourself a Mod Podge. This is the original Mod Podge. This is the stuff that is made for decoupage and paper mache. This is the stuff that you want. This is a glue and a sealer. So like this one, as you can see, the labels are 2 different colors. You have a yellow label and you have a red label, or an orange label. This one, if I can get it up, it says matte. It says Mod Podge matte. Mod Podge matte. It's backwards for me, but right for you guys. So Mod Podge matte. So that means that this goes on non-shiny at all, which is what matte means. This one is gloss. So that means that it's going to go on. And actually, since I haven't done both my hands, this hand is glossy, which you really can't tell. This hand is matte. So one has luster on them, so you can kind of see the luster on this one. And this one's completely matte because I don't have anything on it. So that's the difference. Matte is just plain non-glossy at all. This one's glossy. So if you're working with it, use them. If you have one only, use that one. It works. Don't worry about it. It will work as a glue and as a sealer, and you're not going to have a problem at all. But if you do have the matte, which I happen to have matte, once again, Deidre, thank you for giving me your bottle of Mod Podge. If you have the bottle of the matte, put the matte down first. If you don't want to mess with it, you don't want to mess around, you just want to straight up get your project done and over with, just go ahead and use whatever you've got. Okay, it works for both. Like I said, this is a glue and a sealer. So I'm going to try to do a lot more Mod Podge projects. I just haven't gotten around to the mini. I might even do a mini uses for Mod Podge video. So that's it for glue tonight. I will start up with the next one, and then that'll be the end of it. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. My name is Alice, and this is Crafting by Moonlight. Like and subscribe in the box below. Thanks so much. Have a good night.